Hey guys, I'm Gil Butler, the Primal Chef, here with another BiOptimizers recipe from the Primal Paleo Cookbook. Today we're gonna be making a cauliflower crust pizza. And while there's a lot of those out on the market, most of them have a ton of dairy in them to make them hold together. This one, however, is completely dairy-free. So the items that you're gonna need are rice cauliflower, eggs, olive oil, salt, oregano, garlic, xanthan gum, and coconut flour. And then we'll have our amazing toppings that will go on after we make the crust. So first step is we have to steam the cauliflower. So we have a steam basket set up and you're gonna dump all 4 cups of cauliflower in on high, cover it. When it's done, we gotta squeeze all the water out. So that'll just take a couple minutes and then we'll get going. All right, so the cauliflower has been steaming, 5 to 10 minutes is all it needs. And then we gotta pull it out because we're gonna need to squeeze a lot of water on it. So we have a ricer here and we're not actually going to rice it. We're not trying to get the cauliflower to come through. We're just gonna use it as a technique to squeeze as much water out as possible. So we're gonna scoop this up. And we just want to squeeze all this water out. Some comes to the top, you can turn it and just see how much comes out. Squeeze a little harder. This step is really important, so you don't want to rush it. You can kind of give it a little break. Sometimes then it will release even more water. You can squeeze it again, get some more out. And then once you've gotten everything out, put it back into the bowl. And we're gonna have to do it with the rest of the cauliflower as well. All right, so you can see, remember how full this bowl was of cauliflower? It has shrunk a lot. So now we're gonna dump it all into a bowl, big mixing bowl. And it's gonna be combined with the rest of our ingredients. So we have 5 tablespoons of coconut flour, 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, naturally derived, it just helps with the texture of it. It's using a lot of gluten-free baking. Also gonna do a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, or it's the same thing to do 4 tablespoons. So we're gonna add that in. And then finally 4 eggs. Okay, I'm gonna mix it all together. It's gonna form a nice dough. Okay, so there's our dough. Now we have a pizza stone. If you have one of these, it works even better. It just maintains the heat a lot better, distributes it more evenly. Otherwise, you can just use a sheet tray. You have some parchment paper on there. And we're just going to place down our dough. And spread it out as even as possible. We want it to take up most of this stone. So it can be really thin as you can get it. There just can't be any gaps or holes in it, because those will cause it to break when it's done. It's sticky, so this part takes a little bit of time. And we do want it thin, because otherwise it's gonna be too bready. All right, so once it's evenly distributed, it's gonna go in a hot oven, 425 degrees. We're gonna check on it after 25 minutes. It might need a little longer. So that's in there. While it's in there, it's a good time to prep your toppings if you haven't done that already. So we're gonna be doing a layer of tomato sauce, cheese, and we also have all these vegetables that are chopped up. I already have everything ready to go, so we're just gonna let it cook for 25 minutes or so. Once it's done, we'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, so we had our pizza crust in the oven, came out and just look at it. This is beautiful. We have browning throughout. It's you know, starting to crisp. You can even pick it up like a pizza crust. There's browning underneath. The pizza pan really makes a big difference, but this is what it should look like. And now we can go ahead and add the rest of our toppings. So we got pizza sauce, tomato based. Just want to get as much on there as you like. I like pretty heavy on the sauce, so I'm gonna keep adding it till it's to my liking. All right, so sauce is always first, cheese is always second. So I promise you this is gonna be a dairy-free pizza. And so I have here, this is plant-based mozzarella. There surprisingly are some really good options on the market now that don't have any sketchy ingredients. So it's pretty impressive what you can do if you wanna stay dairy-free. You can use this. Otherwise, grass-fed cheese, if you're eating dairy, that is obviously optimal even. So up to you which one you wanna use, but either way, you're gonna do it like any other pizza. We're gonna do a nice layer of mozzarella. All right, so we have a little cheese left over. I'm gonna save that, throw it on top. But now this is just my favorite combination. Obviously, any combination that you wanna do is totally fine. I like doing some yellow onions. And you can see everything is chopped up really thin. If you have it too thick, when it goes in the oven, it's not even gonna cook. You're gonna end up with a warm salad on top of your pizza. So if you want your vegetables to be at all cooked, you're gonna wanna make sure they're really small, or you can always par cook them before, saute them. You could even caramelize these onions if you wanted to. So we got onion on there, got some mushrooms. I have memories as far back as preschool. We'd order pizza every week to our classroom, and mushrooms and black olives was my favorite, and that has stuck with me ever since. It's got the mushrooms on there, black olives. All right, and then for protein, I have chicken breast and I have bacon. Both are pre-cooked. You can't put raw meat on top of a pizza. It won't cook in time. So sprinkling some of that chicken. Normally I'm a chicken thigh, chicken leg person. For some reason on pizza, I like chicken breast. I don't know. Okay. And then if you have some last bits of cheese, you can throw those on top. Use it all up. Nothing worse than putting a tiny little bit of cheese back in your fridge. Just eat it. Okay, so this has to go back in the oven about 5 to 10 more minutes. How do you know when it's done? Look for the cheese. When it's melted, it's pretty much done. Obviously, the longer you put it in, the more your vegetables will be cooked. This vegan cheese sometimes takes a little bit longer to melt, so it might be closer to the 10 minutes, but we'll check it at 5. Definitely by 10, you should be ready to eat some pizza. So it's going back in the oven. Okay, so the pizza has been in the oven for 10 minutes. See how it looks. So obviously, if you were using dairy cheese, it would be more melty than this. However, as far as vegan cheese goes, it's about as good as it gets. When you feel it, you can tell that it is in fact melted, even though the shape didn't change as much. So from there, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. One of my favorite things to put on pizza is Chinese chili oil. We have a recipe for you to make one in the Primal Paleo cookbook, and it is just so good on top. So just can give it a nice little swirl. There you go. So then you can cut it. Just take a pizza cutter, slice it through, slice it through. You can do 4 slices. I like to do 6 slices. Boom. It's ready to eat. I'm gonna get a piece of pizza on a plate, taste it with you. We can see how it is. Just remember, it's really hot right now, so don't just go grab it from the cast iron tray. That will end poorly. So, all right, so here's a slice. See how it is. You can pick it up, got good sturdiness. That's a pizza. Cauliflower keto dairy-free crust. Still got that crispy crust texture. Really melty cheese on there. Chicken bacon, all the vegetables. Chinese chili oil on top. You're never gonna want a delivered pizza again. This is the one to make. I'm Gil Butler. You can find this recipe in the Bioptimizers Primal Paleo Cookbook. You can learn more about me at theprimalchef.com or on Instagram, _Primal Chef. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.